Welcome to Wellness Curated by Anshu Bahanda. The Vietnamese Zen monk Thich Nhat Hahn, in his writings, Being Peace, says, breathing in, I calm my body and mind, and breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is the only moment. So the world is waking up to the huge benefits of breathwork. It can help with anxiety, sleep, stress, and lots more things. It's a wonderfully powerful tool, which we will explore through the age-old tradition today of breathwork in yoga. Professor Prahlad is the head of yoga at Pema Wellness. He guides people globally on the important science of breathing and its impact on daily life, on physical, cognitive, and coherent functions in the body. Welcome to the chat, Professor Prahlad.
Thank you.
Professor Prahlad, as we know, breathing in is essential for life, of course. But it's not just about getting oxygen into our body. The power of the breath is an essential tool for wellness. So how is breath work different from just breathing? And how can we use it to deliver positive benefits for the mind and for the body?
Whatever you said, it is really very true in the life of everyone. So before understanding the breath work, we have to, classify it or, divide it. So I have divided it to 3B. B for body, and B for breath, and another B for breathing. So when we are understanding our body through any channels or through any techniques, breath influence, or when we influence the breath, body influence simultaneously. So when we are influencing the breath or we are practicing the breath, body influenced by it, or
yes,
body also influence the breath. That's what. So B for body, and another B for breath, and third B for breathing. So body, breath, and breathing.
Okay.
That's what we are going to discuss today.
Okay, yes.
Why breath is required for body? Is body required the breath, or breath requires the body?
So the body requires the breath, correct?
So breath doesn't require the body, right?
Well, I guess how will you breathe if you don't have a body?
True. That's what the prana is everywhere. The breath is everywhere in this universe. But I am a receiver by my body. So I will receive that breath through my body to complete my internal or entire functional of the functions of my body. It may be in different aspects. So when I practice my breath in relation to all my functions to calm down or to activate it, that will be the course of breathing practice.
Okay.
So breath is essential for my life. Of course, there is no doubt. Body is also essential for my being, no doubt. But breathing is always influenced by my action of the body. Like, for example, I run, talk, eating, sporting. My breath is influenced by my body movements in my journal life.
Yes,
whatever
absolutely.
I will do, my actions in the day through the body, it will influence my breath unknowingly or unconsciously, right? Or consciously.
Yes.
Both unaware or aware. So that is the process of body which is going to adjust the breath by itself. Whereas in yoga, we are adjusting the breath accordingly and then framing the body in particular postures or in asanas or in sitting. So that is a very simple difference. where the body is acting according to its need and demands in the day. My breath influenced by that. Whereas in yoga, I make my body still, calm, and quiet in one posture, and then I modify my breath.
I see.
The difference.
I see. Yes.
So what is happening with that, what is going to happen with that? So consciously, I will guide my breath.
Okay.
Consciously,
so you're saying
I will practice my breath for my body, not from my body. I should practice my breath like for running. If I start running for 100 meter or 200 meter, I don't know how my body is breathing. But it will be very fast and rigorous breathing, because my body has to complete its all internal mechanism. So it requires the oxygen, and it requires to throw the CO2. Whereas if I manipulate my breath in the yogic postures, my body is not at all doing anything. Body is still and ideally sitting on in one posture.
So here you're talking about pranayams, or even are you also talking about the asanas?
No pranayama still. I'm just talking about breath.
Okay.
So breath, body, breath, and breathing. So in my day-to-day life, my body is going on with its own flow. My breath is also going on its own flow. And my breathing is also influenced by both.
Okay.
Either way.
Yes.
So where I'm talking about yoga, it means consciously I am guiding my breath. Consciously I am regulating my breath. While keeping my body ideally or in steady pose or in calm and quiet state by itself, then only I can practice the breathing. I cannot practice the breathing when I'm running. The breathing is happening because it's required by my body. When I'm swimming, it's happening by its own. So that breathing I cannot consider as a yogic breathing.
Okay. So you're saying when we consciously manipulate the breath to work with us, that is breath work. Is that right?
Breath work in yoga.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So now again, I've divided again it to the 3B again. So breath, like CB, clavicular breath. Again, CB, chest breath. And another BB is belly breath.
Okay.
So suppose
will you explain each, please?
I'm going to explain each. So when I start running, so I'm doing maximum my belly breath.
Okay.
So if you consider this belly breath with the yogic belly breath, it's totally different. Because body is required that's what belly breath is happening. Here consciously I have to do my belly breath. So CV is the clavicular breath. If I inhale and exhale, my clavicular bone is involved or moving in that. This is called CV, clavicular breath. If I'm feeling my rib cage is moving with my breath, it is called the chest breath. If I feel my belly is moving according as per my breath, it is called, or my belly is involved in that, it's called BB, belly breath. So if suppose I start feeling like, if I'm closing my eyes and I feel, is my clavicular bone is moving, this is called up to here only, or it goes up to the center of the chest, or up to the diaphragm or below the diaphragm. So I've divided this process into 3: CB, again CB, and BB. To checking that, we have to call CB1. Second is CCB, 2C, CCB, and CCBB. All together.
Okay.
So when we are going to practice the yogic breathing, we should know first where I am standing in my breathing pattern. Am I standing in my breathing pattern only up to, my upper part of the chest? Or middle part of the chest? Or till my abdomen?
Or the abdomen. Okay.
See, most of the time people say start doing belly breath. But if my body is not ready to do belly breath, then it will be a force on my body. You know, so I don't want to force my body to practice the breath. I want to make my body in complete ease to practice my breathing. Okay. So whereas I have to make my entire breathing process effortless, strainless. Right. Whereas my body is working, my breathing is completely under stress and full of efforts. If I do understand the efforts process or stress process on my breath, I can call it illness of breath.
Okay. So if I do not understand.
Yes, if you don't understand that, most of the people do this mistake by learning the breath or teaching the breath. They don't know what is the illness of breath. If breath is ill,
right.
If your breath is coming only up to your claviculars, CB first, it means the breath is ill. It's not going fully. Then it influences the body, and later on body will become ill. See, diseases will not manifest in a day. If you're having the shallow breath, disease will not manifest. Disease will manifest when you are having longer period of time under the shallow breath, or when you are holding your breath, or you're not breathing properly. Then only the certain things will manifest in your life or in your health.
Okay.
This is a very simple phenomena to understand what is the breath work in yoga.
Okay.
People say if you practice the breathing, you will feel calm and quiet. If I quote one Upanishad, the Upanishad name is Kundalini Upanishad. In that it is said by the Upanishad that your breath is impulses of your mind. If you calm down your breath, your impulses are reduced in your brain. If you improve your breath or breathing rate, your impulses also increases in your brain. So what I can understand by studying that, breath is my mind.
So the breath can control the mind.
No, they say breath is impulses. Breath is thought. Okay. They never say breath is mind. They say the breath is thoughts. So if you control your breath, you are controlling a thought process in the brain or in your mind.
Okay.
So therefore I said you, if you understand the breath work, you have to first sit in a proper meditative asana or still in any pose to relax the entire strain of your body on breath. Make your body completely relaxed, calm and quiet. The practice, so breath will practice itself. See, suppose I'll go to practice gym. Yes. Who is practicing in the gym? If I go to the yoga class, who is practicing in yoga class? It means I am practicing. I means my body is practicing. So my body is influencing my breath.
Yes.
Breath is not influencing me, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you're saying let the breath influence you.
So when I practice breath in yoga, my body should not interfere in any way, my breath. So my breath will be having a complete freedom to become a breathe. So breathe goes in or breathe comes out. So I should provide the proper pathway for the breath to become breathe. So I will breathe in till my belly, or I will breathe out from my belly. If suppose my posture is wrong, or I'm having, a hunch in my back, or I'm not sitting straight, I can say definitely that person is not providing the freedom for breath. So the breath is ill in that condition.
Okay.
Suppose I'm not well, I got the disease in my body, I cannot go to the office, right? Simple way.
Yes.
If my body is having some problem, so it means my breath cannot reach to my navel or to my belly. it means my breath is ill.
Okay.
I'm not providing the path to my body to travel within my body.
Right. Okay.
Clear now?
Yes. Yes.
Why we
yes.
should practice the breath in yoga? We should practice the breath in yoga to understand BB, CB, clavicular breath, chest breath, and belly breath. When you are becoming advanced, or sorry, when you are becoming master of this breath, then you have to reach to the TB, that is known as tailbone breath. I call it TBB.
Okay.
Tailbone, T for tail, B for bone, and another big breath. So tailbone breath.
Yes.
So people will, should be aware about that I can breathe while involving my tailbone also. So it says to me, if my spine is completely vertical, while sitting in any pose, my breath can reach to my Mooladhara chakra.
Yes. Now you have to explain that. Prahlad, explain Mooladhara
so people must understand the breath is not only up to your belly. Breath is not only up to your chest. So maximum people say in yoga, when you're practicing the breath, you should practice with your belly. I say, okay, it's fine. But you provide the path to the breath to reach to your belly. Don't force your breath. So again, if you force your breath, it is just like you are working out with your body, like running or swimming or jogging. So it means you're forcing your body to do, So you're improving the breathing rate. Whereas in yoga, you have to reduce your breathing rate. So RRR, respiratory rate. Resting respiratory rate and respiratory rate. And functioning respiratory rate. So we have to understand the minute difference between these categories to understand our concern over the breath work.
Okay.
So when I'm reaching to belly breath, I should improve my consciousness till my tailbone.
Yes. And Prahlad, before you carry on, will you explain to our listeners what Mooladhara chakra is for those who don't know?
Mooladhara chakra is the base chakra of the body. Okay. So we are very close to the tailbone. So if you look,
so it's the and chakras are energy centers in the body, right?
Yes. If you look to the yogic text or classical text, they say you have three nadis, Ida, Pingala, and Sushmana, which originates from the root chakra. And if you look to the text, they say breath is prana. So if I practice the prana should move through my Ida and Pingala, and it should reach to my Mooladhara chakra.
Yes. Now I'm going to trouble you to explain to us, for those of us who don't know, what the Nadis are.
I will. Nadis are the different vessels in the body which allow the prana to flow in that. So when the prana, so I'll say it is breath in English. When you are having the breathing process, which is merely exchanging the gas in my lungs, which is called breathing practice. Once you come to the more deep into yoga, we say prana practice, not the breathing practice. So the prana is bifurcated by your body in different places. So the prana should go to your Ajna chakra and up to the Mooladhara chakra through the Ida and Pingala nadis. Then it becomes the pranayama. If you practice your breathing, it is just merely a breathing practice. It is nothing to do with your pranayama. It is just a breathing practice, like I'm jogging or running or swimming. I'm improving or increasing the flow of my breath.
Yes.
Whereas I have to practice the pranayama, the breath should reach to till my root of nadi, Ida or Pingala. It should go to the Mooladhara chakra. That's what I'm now TBB, tailbone breath.
So, Professor Prahlad, I'm going to ask you to explain to us why breath work is so important in yoga. I know you've done it partly, but in the asanas and in pranayams, I know you're beginning to
Very
talk
good,
about
very
it.
good
But
question.
will you explain to us exactly what is the difference between an asana and a pranayama?
Very good. See, asana is again physical. So when you move according to your flexibility in your body or possible movements in your body, right? You are working on your body, not on your breath. That therefore we say when you bend forward, you have to breath out, or breathe out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
When we bend backward, we say breathe in.
Mm-hmm.
We are not saying breathe in, then bend backward.
Right.
We are not saying first breathe out, then bend forward. We say simultaneously synchronize your movements of body with breath. Why? Because body is moving, body is not still and ideal. So
Right.
any asanas you will do by the body, it means that you are influencing your breath through the body. Whereas in pranayama, you are not influencing your body by breath because your body is completely calm and quiet.
Right.
So breath will get the pathway and it will act by itself how it should be. Then it will get, or then it will find all the pathway to go to your body. So your body will not become the hurdles not to allow the prana to flow in the body. If you do the movements, there may be the chance the prana cannot reach to the entire parts of the body. But whereas you practice the pranayama, it has capability and potential and significance to reach to the all roots, even all cells of your body.
Okay, so you're saying that pranayama actually helps remove all the blockages because there's no body movement involved, there's only breath work involved in a comfortable position. Okay.
So we are making body ready to practice pranayama while getting mastery on the asanas. That also you have to note the points. See, without getting the mastery on the asanas, no one can practice pranayama. Therefore, we have to learn the asanas with breath to clean the internal process of the body. So where the prana can flow, the breath can flow when I'm sitting still or ideal in any pose or in posture.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, Professor Prahlad, was this. You and I had a wonderful conversation when I was there, which was which I had not had with anyone before, on the significance of breath work at different stages of your life. That was an amazing learning for me. And I'd love you to explain a little bit of that on this chat.
Sure, it's really opportunity again. You have given me opportunity to explain this back to you because the life is having this 7-year cycle. So 1 to 7 years the brain is developed in the child, and then next
so
7
that's the
years,
first 7 years.
First 7 years.
Yes.
From 7 to 14, the body is developed completely in its own form. Then puberty comes by the body, or nature gives us that stage to follow in the body. Then 14 to till 21, body will go under the trials and errors of the hormones, or under the influence of the hormones. Then the body will become mature to deal with the hormones in another 7 years. Then from 21 to 28 is the best time that body will work by its own. Always I used to say your hormones and your breath is your life.
Right.
Your physical body is not life, it is a body. Your life, that people say I'm living my life, I want to do something in my life. So that is the period from 21 till 35 years. People use or misuse their body because it is under the influence of the hormones. So 7 into 5 become 35. So 21 plus 7, 28, 28 plus 7, 35. And after 35,
Right.
after 35, problems begin with the body. The hormones
Absolutely.
slightly declined till 42. And from 42 till 49, it suddenly declined in the body. So it has the very deep impact on the physical body. Like first 7 years, child is growing only with the help of breath. You know, if you see the very newly born baby, how fast he is breathing and how many hours he is sleeping. You know, almost 20 hours the child is sleeping, right? The baby is sleeping. And 4 hours, right? So when the body is working on the breath, the body is growing and harmonizing the body itself. So brain required more breathing process, regulated breathing process to grow the brain. So we should learn from that first age of 7 years. So the child was sleeping, the breath work was happening by itself under the influence of the nature. And then the brain was getting developed in that phase when the child was sleeping 20 hours or 16 hours or then 14 hours. You know, so body was completely under the rest, then brain started growing. Similarly, we should learn when we want to calm down the brain or to, you know, control the brain or to develop it in different aspects like awareness or chetana or consciousness or subconsciousness or, you know, super consciousness. We also do need to follow the breath similarly as the baby was following. Body was ideal.
Yes.
There was no movements. Breathing was happening in rhythmic process. Brain develops.
Right.
Then baby became 7 years. After the 7 years, 7 to 14. So after 7 years, you cannot control your baby in your home. Baby goes out. The same baby goes out and play, trying to play different games with the body. So now the body gets involved in the phase of 7 years. Because now is the time for body to grow. Then the body will influence the breath. So first breath was influencing the mind in the baby. Now after 7 years, the body will influence the breath.
Yeah, like you said earlier.
Yes.
When you're running, you're fixing your breath accordingly.
So how much you will use your body, that much your breath will influence, and you will develop your body in maximum, you know, in all its respective fields, like muscular, skeletal system, digestive system, respiratory system, you know, everything will grow related to the body. Within 14 years, maximum people, 14 or 15 years, they are growing maximum in their height or in, you know, the size and shape. Then after that, body will infuse the hormones in them. Then again, breath will get trouble. Because now hormones and body will have trial and errors or you know, influence on each other. Hormones will influence all entire physiological functioning of the body. So the body will get confused. Then it will impact again on the breath. So when it impacts on the breath, child goes to different, child will have or will face the different stages like getting angry, getting confused, she or don't know what to do, you know, then they will start asking the help, they will become moody, they don't want to do any work. It's influence.
That's teenagers. We call them teenagers, right?
We don't call them teenagers. We should understand the teenagers. Why they are like this, why they are so much outgoing, why they are not controlled by us. So it means they themselves have trouble with their breath. So hormones influence the breath through the body, and then again the breath is influencing the hormones from the body or through the body. Once it is all settled down in the age of 21, then body is giving the permission to use or abuse anyway. Breath will also not come in between. Your body also will not in between. Your hormones will start functioning or going to the top or accelerating itself to do whatever you want to do in your life.
Okay.
So when they are in the topmost functioning, you know,
okay,
you will not listen to anyone. You will do whatever you like for the body, not for the mind, for the body, to make it comfortable, to provide the luxury, to provide the fame, pride, safety, security. So you'll keep on working for this field through your body.
Okay.
So again, after 35, 37, the hormones again will slightly decline. Then again, your breath will come under the trouble. Little bit. And from 42 onwards, your breath is reducing drastically. If you look or talk to a lot of women or male or a male, after 42, their breath is straining themselves or straining them, because their breath is becoming very shallow. They cannot breathe properly. They have difficulty in breath. They say, I have some trouble in my breathing. I cannot climb the stairs. I cannot come down. I cannot go here and there. I have, or when I speak, or when I become emotional, So therefore, again, the breath is coming in between them. Then it is not allowing their body to, properly function. So body to breath and breath to body, we have to understand it very deeply.
Right. Okay.
After 42, it again reduced so much, then people feel breathless.
Okay.
They feel, I am having so much difficulty in my breath. I cannot breathe. Please help me. I'm facing a lot of difficulties in my breath. So when it happens, it means the oxygen is not supplied properly to the physical body. Then lot of physiological changes will happen in lack of oxygen. Therefore, one slogan in yoga, they say, do Kapalbhati, do Vastrika, oxygen will increase. Oxygen was before also there. Now also it is there and it will be there. Why to improve and increase my oxygen in body? What was the need for it? See, you have to give a thought for it. Why I do need to improve my oxygen today? When I was a child, no one taught me to improve my oxygen. So it means something happened with my body. That's what it is declining, right? Or its percentage of O2 is going less in my body. I have to work out on the sources of the source and causes why it is reducing. It's not a fault of breath. It is happening because my hormones is declining. So my vitality of all the organs will reduce. Therefore, I need revitalize. Therefore, I need rejuvenate. Therefore, I need to charge myself, because previously it was charged by the hormones or its influence. Now it is declining, so it will be absence of them in my body. My body will go into shock.
So you're saying after 42, we need to rejuvenate all the organs because of the hormones. We need to rejuvenate all the organs in our body.
So we should not allow the breath to decline. We should hold the breath in the same sequence. Therefore, we should or must practice the pranayama after 42 at least. Suppose you didn't practice before, it is my request to everyone, they should learn the breath or breathing practices at least after 42 to maintain their good health.
I'd like to ask you very quickly to tell us what pranayama should people do after 42, for how long, how often?
every day, half an hour. Minimum half
sure
an
a
hour
lot.
every day they should practice pranayama. That first pranayama should be practiced by them as Anuloma Viloma pranayama. Then second should be practiced Nadi Shodhan. Then Bhramri pranayama. These three pranayama they should practice 15 minutes each. Minimum.
So I'm going to post a video showing people what these three pranayams are. Anulom Vilom, Nadi Shodhan, and Brahmari pranayama.
Brahmari pranayama. They must and should practice after 42.
Okay. And you said 15 minutes or half an hour a day?
All 15 minutes. Suppose they are having already some elements, or suppose they are not having elements, they can practice some other pranayamas like Bastrika pranayama also they can add. If they have some elements like blood pressure or, or some other issues of their backs, spondylitis or something like this, they should not practice Bastrika or Kapalbhati. But rest of the others can practice.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you now to give us some simple tools that we can use in breathwork to help us with different ailments. So one of them, the first is, can you give us some simple tools for energy levels and hormonal imbalance?
Yes, very good. The same thing I was telling you.
Right.
So half of the answer is given in my first answer. So when I practice, the breath, my body will synchronize by itself.
Right.
Because it influences my body. If you follow from the starting, so if I practice my breath, body will synchronize it by itself. If my body is completely unorganized, then I have a lot of trouble. So when my body and life is unorganized, then only I'm having a lot of trouble with my life. So if I start practicing the breath, it will reorganize my body internally.
Okay.
As I said, you hormones and breath is life.
Yes.
So you want to maintain.
So for
yeah.
So you gave us those three for hormonal balance. You said Anulom Vilom, Nadi Shodhan, and Bhramri pranayama. Is that for energy levels as well? Those three?
Yes. Energy level. I'll tell you how the energy level is increased in the body when you minimize the usage of physical body while practicing the pranayama. Then your energy improves in the pranayama, because to continuing your breath or continuing your breathing process also required the energy.
Okay.
Lot of people may not understand what I am telling, but they should refer the lot of research, lot of articles, lot of papers are there. If you don't know how to minimize your energy to do the breath work, if you use your energy more to complete your breath work, it means one side you are losing your energy to do your breath, and another side you're trying to improve your energy. It never happens.
Okay.
So how the energy is increased in the body when I minimize my uses of internal energy, which is called resting metabolism, resting energy. So I have to reduce that. So I will save my energy in that aspect.
Okay. How do you do that?
So that's what, once you make your body completely relaxed, your body will not influence the breath. Your body will allow the breath to, do its own function or, do its own work. Then your body is not spending so much of energy to completing the process of breathing. If you want to do or to complete the process of breathing, then you are spending the energy from your body. If the person goes to ICU, what they give first? They give oxygen support, right? So they are making that system to function effortlessly. So body should not spend more work, so more energy to complete my breath. So it means I'm spending the energy to follow my inhalation and exhalation. That they should understand. If they understand that, energy level will go up. It will boom up.
Okay. Okay. I'm still not very clear about how will they do their pranayams and still conserve energy.
See, I'll tell you, resting metabolism, RM. For ladies, it's like 1200 to 1400. For male, it's 1400 to 700 calories. That energy is expended by the body only to complete 4 functions. The first is breathing. The second is circulation. The third is digestion, and fourth is thinking. So while I'm, not doing anything, my body is performing these functions, right?
Right.
The breath is going on, my circulation is going on,
Yes.
digestion is happening, and thinking. So that resting energy in my body is provided for this. So if I spend that entire energy for completing this system, this function, it means I'm spending the energy which is given to me by the universe.
Yes.
So I have to save that energy. That energy is healing me. That energy is awakening me. So I should not use that energy to, so I should use minimum of that energy to perform my pranayama practice.
Okay.
Effortless.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying
circulation. So flow of blood should increase, the pressure of the blood should decrease. Effortless digestion, smooth digestion, or very quick digestion will happen, and no thought process. So I have to calm down my mind. So in entire all the process, I'm saving my energy.
So Prahladji, I think we need to come to you for that, because to get it all to be effortless is a huge, huge task. But also tell me, in terms of stress and blood pressure, can you give us some pointers that people can do in their own houses?
Very good. What is stress? Breath itself is known as stress. If they don't know how to handle the breath and they don't know how to practice the breath, it will become itself a stress. Then it will be more difficult. So most of the time this happens with our body, with the changes of life, So breath is influencing my life. Breath is influencing my body. So when I'm under this stress situation, there may be physical stress or mental stress or spiritual stress or financial, socially, whatever the stresses are there. So the stress influences my body. It means my body again influencing my breath. So I should practice the effortless breath to calm down my body. So when I practice that effortless breath, it will improve the flow of blood and decreasing the pressure of blood in my body. So
when you say effortless breath,
yes,
you mean just learn how to breathe normally without any effort?
No. First, learn your body to breathe or body to breathe, not you to breathe. When you come to the practice of pranayama, then only you have to consciously breathe or regulate. Before that, you have to allow your body to breathe.
Okay.
It's a practical subject.
Okay. So you're saying to me that you have to just allow your body to effortlessly breathe till you come to the practice of pranayama.
Yes, very right. Otherwise, body is under the stress and breath is also under stress. You cannot coordinate and synchronize the movements of both. So first of all,
so how does one do that? You need to give us pointers.
So we have to learn the rest and relaxation. Therefore, we should practice Yoga Nidra. Therefore, we practice some kind of, 5-minute sitting postures, just sit calm and quiet for 5 minutes. Don't do anything, So these kind of things you have to cultivate in your day-to-day activities.
You might want to explain. A lot of people know what Yoga Nidra is, but you might want to explain that.
Yoga Nidra is a conscious efforts of sleep. you consciously, where you're making your body completely in the rest. That's what I said to you before also. So now it's effortless breathing. So when you are in the Yoga Nidra, it means you are practicing your effortless breath by diverting your attention and concentration on different parts of the body. So which doesn't, your brain doesn't influence the breath. So breath will find its way because you are lying down on the mat. So breath will find its own way and it will be a free breath. Very simple. Yoga Nidra is very simple practice to relax your breath, according to me. Whatever I have understood.
Okay.
Maybe people may agree with me or may not, but it's my understanding to practice the breath in Yoga Nidra.
Okay. And those are for stress, effortless breathing.
Yes, very well.
What about blood pressure?
When flow of blood will increase in this process, blood pressure will come down.
Or go up, depending on what's required. Correct?
No. When the flow of blood, when your body is under the complete rest, the strain and stress is being eliminated by the adjustment of breath in the body. So the entire body will become relaxed. Your arteries will start dilating. The flow of blood will increase. The pressure of blood will decrease.
Okay. So that's if people have high blood pressure.
Yes. If the arteries are contracted or they are having more stress or they are holding their postures, it means there is no proper dilation in their arteries. So there is no proper flow of blood in their arteries, then pressure will increase. And therefore, the pressure is being influenced by emotions. Emotions like holding your body, fear, anxiety is what? You hold your body. You're not relaxing your body. So chronic fatigue or chronic stress is the reason for a lot of diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Make the body come under the process of relaxation. So first is rest and then relaxation. So when you're resting in this Savasana and you're relaxing the whole body and mind, then after you are eligible to practice your breath consciously. Never try to breathe consciously without practicing calmness rest and relaxation by your body.
Okay, so that's very, very important. What you're saying is, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling stressed out, don't go straight into breathing. No. You first need to do the asanas to get the flow of blood going. And then you need to practice what you call shavasana, or just lying flat down and totally relaxing your mind and body and doing nothing.
Yes.
So that you actually rest your body and your breath and everything before you go into practicing pranayams. No, correct?
I'll say it again. When you are practicing the Yoga Nidra or resting, it means you're allowing your body to have natural flow of breath. You're not stopping or influencing your breath by body. So breath will correct the entire mechanism in your body. So once it calms down and you continue this practice for a longer period of time, then you are allowed to start regulating your breath.
A lot of people experience pains and inflammation in their body. And I know you've helped a lot of people deal with that. So can you give us some pointers that will help?
Very simple, very simple. See, pain and aches are lack of oxygen in their body, lack of relaxation in their body, over training their body. So they are misusing their body or abusing their body. So if you provide the proper calmness and quietness and relaxation for the body, within a week, you can heal your pain and aches in the body. By just simple following your breath. Nothing to do. Just lie down ideally and follow your breath. Don't practice your breath. Follow your breath.
Follow your breath Explain that to us.
I'm treating the people here in our center within 3 days.
Okay.
I'll make them to lie down in one particular posture, and I'll allow them to only follow their breath. I will not teach them anything. So when the breath is regulated by itself, then within next 3 days, I'm able to treat their pain and acts in the body.
So you're saying just focus on the breath, but don't do anything. Let it go.
Just watch your breath. Don't practice your breath.
Watch your breath. Okay.
Don't practice your breath. Just watch your breath.
Okay.
Pain and
what about inflammation?
Inflammation also will go. First, inflammation will go, then only the pain and acts will go on. Na?
Okay.
Without inflammation, pain will not go.
Okay. And what about weight loss?
Weight loss is nothing. Weight loss is nothing. It's very simple process. You know, your fat is considered CO2. Okay. Maximum CO2 is your fat, and fat is CO2. So when you're having the metabolism within your body, it release and produce maximum amount of CO2, then H2O, water, then pyruvic and lactic acid and phosphorus. So once you start exhaling more or eliminating the CO2 from your body, definitely you are using your fat.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Therefore, if you look to the science, the O2 is the natural. This is not positive or negative charge, whereas your CO2 is negatively charged.
Okay.
Acidic in the nature.
Okay.
So when you have the acidic blood or acidic nature of your body, it means your CO2 level is more. So reduce it, you throw it out, your body will restore its own natural balance of the body, then you are going to start losing your weight.
Okay, so you're saying turn the body. You said turn the body less acidic, is that right?
No, body is more acidic.
No, to lose weight, you need to turn the body less acidic.
Yes.
And reduce the CO2 levels in the body.
Very true.
Yes. Okay.
Learn the science.
What about?
Don't learn the breath. First, learn the science of body. Then connect your breath. See, blindly don't follow the breath. If I practice the breath, this will happen, that will happen. No. Understand the science. Why I should practice the Kapalbhati, why I should practice the Bhastrika. People say practice Bhastrika and Kapalbhati, it reduces your weight. Absolutely true. Because I'm using CO2, to eliminate, or I'm throwing the CO2 out from my body. It means in mechanism or internally, I'm using my fat.
Okay. Okay. And also, what about immunity? How can we help with immunity?
See, immunity is a big subject to discuss. By just practicing the breath, you cannot improve immunity. Immunity have a lot of others like nutrition, your lifestyle modification, and you have to control your stress, control your blood pressure, so a lot of other influences are there in your immunity. So immunity is a vast subject. So by following just breath, I think it may not be a right answer to say to improve your immunity just by breath, because it's a very vast.
Okay, and I'm going to just ask you one quick question before we go. How do we ensure, so you were saying that you have to breathe all the way through, right? Not just, you called it CB, CCB, and, not just on top, but all the way right down to the tailbone. How can we help people do that? People who are listening in.
Yes, very good. First, they should understand what posture they should sit, or in which posture they should lie down, where either they should make the spine completely relaxed by following certain instructions of the teacher, or
Okay.
or they should learn how to sit straight first while keeping.
Okay, so you tell us. Will you tell us how to sit straight?
Yes. So when you sit straight while taking your tailbone out, so when you tuck your tailbone out, move your pelvic bone forward.
Okay.
Naturally, your spine is becoming straight and hold that posture. So you need to flex your groin. Like Padmasana, when you do the Padmasana, your tailbone is getting 30 angle. Naturally, the breath will flow till your your tailbone or Mooladhara chakra. No need to do any efforts. Naturally, the breath will reach. So to tuck out your tailbone, you need to flex your groin. So you improve the flexibility in your groin to tuck out your tailbone.
So you tuck your tailbone out from the back.
Yes.
So you curve your spine.
Yes, curve your spine.
Okay.
So the this is the modification. The natural curve comes when you are sitting in Padmasana. So you're flexing your groin completely in Padmasana. So naturally your back is straight or curved in this Padmasana. So when you
Padmasana is the lotus pose.
Lotus pose or Siddhasana, naturally your breath will reach without any efforts to your tailbone or to Mooladhara.
Okay.
Therefore, if you
so
look,
you have to basically keep your spine straight.
Yes. Classical yoga should be followed, where the breath practice was only allowed in Siddhasana or in Padmasana. Until unless people were not learning these two asanas, the master was not teaching the pranayama.
That's interesting. What is Siddhasana? Prahladji, what is Siddhasana?
Siddhasana is sitting the cross leg, one heel is below the perineum and another heel is above your genital organs. That is known as Siddhasana. For ladies, it is known as Siddhyoni Asana. For male, it is known as Siddhasana.
So it's just crossing your legs.
Yeah, crossing the leg, but heel should be, crossing each other exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, heel should be above each other, not crossing. Heel should be above each other.
Heel should be above each other. Okay, that was wonderful, Professor Prahlad. Do you have any last parting words of advice for people listening in?
No, my advice to people is only very simple. They must learn the breath, then they should practice the breathing. One. The second one is they must learn how to relax their body, and then they should practice the breath. So they must and should practice these things under the expert guidance. They themselves should not try. So once they learn, then becoming expert in that, then they can carry on. If they have some difficulty on the path of practice, they must reach to the master, get their advice and suggestions, then it will be nice. So my last point is, without learning it well, please don't practice. So you must and should learn from the experts. There are a lot of experts, those who give guidance to you, and practice it for well-being of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Prahlad. That was such an enlightening talk. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone from listening in. This is Anshu Bahanda from Wellness Curated.